Hello and welcome to the podcast, A Life of a Woman. I am your host, Callie. And today in this episode, I am sharing what my journey has been like recently to night wean my co-sleeping toddler. So I'm recording this episode as recognition or celebration of all the different things that women and mums go through. And also because a couple of weeks ago, when I started my journey, I was looking for an episode like this around night weaning and particularly night weaning a co-sleeping toddler because that is not something that I wanted to stop. I didn't want to stop co-sleeping. So yes, I'm recording this episode because I know I wanted it. And so hopefully this will serve other mums who, are also in that situation. So I have been sharing this journey on my socials, on Instagram. So you can follow along on my Instagram if you just search Callie Malone Coaching. And I did do a poll on there when I was in the thick of it and asked people if they wanted a podcast episode. And it was a huge yes. So here it is for all of you. And for myself as well, just as a celebration of what we go through and just, good job. Sometimes we have to celebrate ourselves. Often, actually, most of the time, we have to celebrate ourselves. We can't expect that recognition or validation from others. So we need to give it to ourselves as well. But yes, it is still a little bit raw, this journey, because I would say that I wouldn't say that we're 100% in the clear yet. We are still very much on this journey, but also it is, I think, the night weaning has caused really or contributed to the really bad drop-offs that we're having with daycare at the moment. I think because we've night weaned, he's having less of that connection with me during the night. So I think he goes to daycare 3 days a week, and I think that is causing him to feel less connection. So he doesn't want to be separated from me as much. So daycare drop-offs are actually really, really hard right now. I'm actually at the stage where I'm almost having to bribe him with chocolate and he can watch, Hot Wheels on my phone or something just to get him in the car. Like it's yeah, really struggle town right now. So it is still a bit raw. And that's why I think like this is still very much a journey. We're not in the clear yet because it is impacting on other areas of life. So I I think it's time to share though, because I think he has got the hang of no mum milk at nighttime. So that's why I wanted to share. But it just shows how everything in life is connected. And now that he's not getting as much connection with me at nighttime, he is really seeking that elsewhere. So yeah, just things that I need to be mindful of. But anyway, let's get into the actual weaning journey. So I have tried to wean him a couple of times. The last time I tried to wean him, I tried really hard to wean him last year, September, October. So he would have been 2.5 years old. And I tried for 6 weeks. It was 6 weeks of me trying to wean. But now looking at how we're weaning this time, I know that he and I probably both weren't ready. It just wasn't, I wasn't as strong with boundaries and putting things in place to help, like putting barriers and things in place to help with the weaning. So yes, I tried, at 2.5 years unsuccessfully. It was not good, but he is now 3. And so for 3 years, I have been, I guess if you count pregnancy on top of that, for over 3 years, I have not got more than 5 hours sleep in a row. And even like 3 hours sleep maximum is probably my usual. So yeah, I'm just ready to sleep because his feeding, like we know how often babies feed, right? It's like every 1.5 to 2 hours. Like it's crazy. And like he's been a very big feeder, and even now he would still rather milk, whether that's mum milk or bottle milk, he would still rather milk than food. Like he's just not a foodie. And so for these last 3 years, and it's been like decreasing as he's got older, but before weaning, so even 2 or 3 weeks ago, he would still feed eight ish, eight-ish times a night and five or more times during the day. So I'm talking about like full-time feeding for 3 years. So I'm a little bit over it. I've had enough. I want my body back. I'm not enjoying feeding. I feel like I have a leech. When we're sleeping at night, I just want to lie how I want to lie. I don't want to have to lie in a way so that he can still access and feed. And I'm ready for the boundaries. I'm ready for my space. And I'm ready to connect with him in other ways and not just be a milk machine because I certainly have a milk monster. Yeah, I very much have a milk monster. And as I said, I would love to get some sleep. I feel like people are really forgiving when you've got a newborn and you're lacking sleep. I feel like that's like really, people are very aware of that and they're very forgiving of that. But then, like having a 3-year-old now and still having huge amounts of lack of sleep, and still breastfeeding as often as I am or was, like, I don't feel like that is like very present in people's minds or like people aren't as forgiving. And like my brain, like with that, 3+ years lack of sleep, and such disturbed sleep, waking up 8+ times a night for feeding, like it's very disturbed sleep. And so my brain is still not firing as much as someone who is sleeping. And yeah, I just an observation in society. I don't feel like it's as recognized that we are still very can still be sleep deprived this long in the game without having a newborn. Yeah, still very much sleep deprived. So yeah, I'm just ready. I am so ready to just get a good sleep and lie how I want to lie, have my space, and just not have a leech on me all the time. Um, and hubby's ready for, more connection with him because breastfeeding is a full-time gig. It has still been a full-time gig. So we're just ready to have like a bit more space and boundaries in. But I'm not ready to stop co-sleeping. That is something I'm not ready for. Like I hear so often about kids getting sick in the night or when Kai's been sick in the night. And I was like, if he's in his, like, I just don't understand how, like, if he was sick in his own room, how would I know that he was sick if I'm not sleeping in the same room? Like, it feels like a very silly question, but I just don't understand. So anyway, I'm not ready to give up co-sleeping. I really enjoy it. I know the cuddles won't last forever. So I do enjoy co-sleeping, but just like, lie in your spot and I can lie in my spot. It will be good. So yeah, I knew that night weaning would be different because we are still co-sleeping. So anyway, let's go start 2 weeks ago. It's been 2 weeks now, and it was really spontaneous as to me deciding, okay, I'm suddenly night weaning. I did not think I was going to do it. Like I didn't know that I was going to do it. It was like a decision, just like, so Monday night 2 weeks ago, I just had enough. It was building and building, and like he would just keep feeding during the night, and I was just like starting to swear like in my head or under my breath, like obviously not swearing at him and to him, but hubby was picking up on it, and I just had enough. I was like 8 times a night. I'm so freaking over this. Just get off me and just sleep. Like, and so I just was like, oh, I went and saw a girlfriend the next day and I was talking to her about it. And I think that just solidified, like, yeah, I'm gonna night wean tonight. So her suggestion was, because I'd tried unsuccessfully in the past to night wean, so her suggestion was what she did with one of her kids was actually giving them like a toy the next morning for not having mummy milk that night. So hubby was very much on board straight away. And so the three of us went to the shops and he got to choose some little Hot Wheels cars and monster trucks because that is like the biggest love of his life besides me, his cars and monster trucks. So he got to choose some of those and we like explained and had a conversation and you'll get one of these in the morning if you don't have any mummy milk tonight. And yeah, I chose like straight up. I was like, I'm not fully weaning. Like he is not ready for that. I don't want to do cold turkey to him. I don't think that's fair. I didn't like that idea. So it was just not feeding while we were sleeping at nighttime. So still happy to feed him to sleep, happy to feed him when he woke up in the morning, but just during the night, like once he's asleep, like no milk until morning, until wake up time. So I was very clear on like my boundaries straight up. So yeah, we talked to him about that. We went and got him some toys. And I actually went back and listened to all of my videos that I put on Instagram because I did a lot of video updates on my stories and I listened to all of them and I've got my little notes here just to remind myself what it was actually like. But the first 5 nights were hard. Oh my goodness, were they hard? So like the it was like a newborn again. So like still so regular, but it was different because he was older and he was physically fighting me. Like physically fighting me. Like when we had had the conversation before he went to sleep, but obviously he was tired, he was sleeping, like during the night, like it's not something that a toddler brain is going to remember necessarily. So when I refused him mum milk during the night for the first 5 nights, he would hit me. He was wrestling to get under my clothes. Like he was screaming, absolutely screaming. And he was a pretty good sleeper as a baby. Like if he would wake up and be crying, like I'd just feed him to sleep or we could rock him to sleep like it. But he was like awake for like hours at a time fighting me for milk. Like he wouldn't take a bottle or like he would take it for like 2 minutes and then want mum milk again. Like it was just it was just full on like yeah, hitting, wrestling, screaming. He was not okay with this decision. He was not okay with this. So when he would do that, because obviously like we would explain like hitting's not okay, no, you're upset, I would then move away. So then he would cry even more because I was not there. I would just, sit at the end of the bed or just go and stand out of the room. And he would cry even more because I wasn't there. So it was like a no-win situation. Um, so yeah, and like it was hard. I can laugh now because we're through the worst of it, but it was hard. So yeah, I went back through my videos and the second night, I was awake every 10 minutes from 2:30 a.m. until 6:30 a.m. So 4 hours, I was awake every 10 minutes. So not okay. Not okay. The third night, I think, was pretty similar. The fourth night, seemed to be really good, but I think he was quite tired from like we had a big day, so I think he was quite tired from that day. He was like getting the hang of or getting the idea that he wasn't having mummy milk, but still putting up a fight and screaming and everything, but it just wasn't lasting for as long. And then the fifth night, oh my gosh, my Instagram stories after the fifth night, I was like, okay, night weaning can go get effed, like royally effed. Like that's exactly what I said in my Instagram stories. Like fifth night of night weaning was so hard. I was awake from 1:30 for like 4 hours solid. So I got 4 hours sleep that night, I think. In total, I got 4 hours sleep. It was so hard. Like again, it would be almost like that 10-minute waking up every 10 minutes, or like I would walk him in the pram. But being a toddler, he won't transfer. So I would like just keep him in the pram. So then I would sleep, or like go and lie down like in his room where I could access the pram easier. And yeah, he would then just be looking for me because he knew that I wasn't close, like within reach. So yeah, the fifth night was really hard. I think that was, a few nights of 4 or 5 hours sleep in a row. And I think I was still working all during this time. Yeah, I did. I started night weaning the night before my work week. I have a 3 day, 4 day work, 3 day work week. So I actually started night weaning. So these rough nights were the nights of my work life. So probably not the best planning from me, but I just had to do it. Yeah, so I had about 4 or 5 hours sleep in total for the first 5 nights. And yeah, they were really hard because yeah, it wasn't just crying like a newborn. He was like like getting really physical, like hitting and wrestling and just not taking no for an answer. So then night 6, that's when I started seeing a corner turn. So he woke up a few times, not as many, woke up a few times. And yeah, definitely started noticing that he lost his fight quickly. So he would still put up a fight, but didn't last as long. Lost it quickly, maybe like 10 minutes worth of arguing instead of an hour or an hour and a half. And yeah, started accepting that if he wanted milk during the night, it would need to be bottle milk. And I also changed my outfit. So this is something I didn't do the first time. So this is my piece of advice if you're trying to night wean. But my current outfit still is a nightie tucked into shorts because he was wrestling me. He was actually able to lift up like my t-shirt, and I was actually the first like night 4 or 5, I was wearing like a singlet top, a t-shirt, a jumper. Like I started layering things on, and it still wasn't stopping him from like wrestling or accessing if I was sleeping. So then night 6, I wore a nightie and tucked it into my shorts and then a t-shirt over the top and a jumper as well, like a more fitted jumper. So like with bands, those jumpers with bands around the waist so that it wasn't a looser jumper. So yeah, I changed my outfit to make it as inaccessible as possible. And I'm still wearing that outfit, and I'll explain why soon. But yeah, so I think that definitely helped. And so yeah, probably at like from 6 nights or even like 1.5 weeks, it became like a really clear routine of him waking at 4:30, taking a bottle, and then waking at 6 a.m. for a mum feed because my boundary was that I would feed him within an hour of us getting up. So yeah, that's been our routine. And it took, yeah, about a week and a half to get there. We're at 2 weeks now. And so, yeah, that's going really well. The 4:30 a.m., waking up, having a bottle, he'll just take it. Like he'll accept that now. No more fighting. He'll drink it and he'll go back to sleep. But when probably between night 6 and 1.5 weeks, like when he would take a bottle because we were so tired, I would fall asleep and then like we would wake up and he's just dropped the bottle somewhere in the bed. So then like the milk has leaked out into the bed. It was like, oh, so we're like sleeping on towels and just washing sheets and yeah. But now we're in a much better routine. And I noticed like almost instantly the energy that I had back, like the energy from night 6, night 7, kind of onwards. I was like bouncing off the walls like a freaking energizer bunny because I'd had, yeah, it was day 7. Um, yeah, after night 7. So I'd had 2 nights sleep of him only waking up 2 times, and I was like bouncing off the walls. I was like, oh my gosh, this is like the most sleep I've got since being like heavily pregnant, like only waking up 2 times a night. Like, are you serious? Like, this is amazing. Is this how everyone feels when they have older kids or don't have kids? Like, only waking up 2 times a night. That's freaking incredible. So, yeah, I've definitely noticed like my energy come back, which is really nice. And just being able to, and it's probably deeper sleep as well. It's definitely deeper sleep because I'm actually able to lie in comfortable positions how I want to lie. I can toss and turn. I'm not as like having to wake up like 8 times a night and just that lighter sleep to then wake up and be responsive. I can actually have that deeper restorative sleep. So it's, I definitely notice it feeling much better. And yeah, I was like, woohoo, 2 weeks. Like we're going really well. Except I, yeah, I think we're still going up and up. I just hit a little road bump 2 nights ago. We were so tired. It's been like 4 day long weekend, Easter celebrations or holiday celebrations. And so we've been really busy with friends and family. And so 2 nights ago, I was so tired that I didn't quite realize, like, I actually fed him, I breastfed him at his 4:30 wake up instead of giving him the bottle. I was just so tired. I must have been like, yeah, cool, like it's morning time, I'll feed you. And so yeah, I fed him at 4:30 wake up instead of giving him a bottle and then making him wait until the 6 o'clock wake up. So last night I was I was feeling better. And so like at the 4:30 a.m. wake up, I gave him a bottle and he hit me again. He started hitting me again. So I moved away and he instantly like grabbed at me to come back to bed. And so we laid down and he took the bottle and yeah, went back to sleep. But yeah, no, I think we're good. I think we're good. I think tonight will be fine. I think that was just like my little hiccup 2 nights ago. And then so last night was just that course correction, just reminding him, I know, sorry, I gave you my milk at 4:30, but actually that's not what we're doing. But yes, I did get hit again last night from his frustration as a milk monster and just wanting milk all the time. But I think we'll be right. But yes, I think we're continuing and strong. And so yeah, I think this is kind of we're getting to the end of me like intentionally needing to be mindful of night weaning. I think it's going to, yeah, just continue on quite naturally and easily from here. I am noticing though that the less that I'm feeding him, and even during the day, like the less that I'm feeding him just overall, I am actually getting over it. I actually don't even want to feed him like at other times. Like I said I'll still feed him to sleep when he wakes up and like during the day because I didn't want to cut off like that deep connection to me that he has. But yeah, I'm really noticing that I don't even want to feed him during the day. So when I feel like I might give it another couple of weeks for him to really settle into this no mummy milk at nighttime. And then I think I'm going to wean him during the day and only do feed to sleep and feed when he wakes up. I think I'm definitely ready for that. Yeah, so that'll be the next step in our weaning journey. But I know that as I said, like at the start, like I definitely think that I really need to prioritize having mum like our connection at other times and through other means and activities because yeah, he's just really finding daycare drop-offs really, really hard at the moment and just not wanting to go to daycare. So yeah, that's a challenge I'm not enjoying right now. So yeah, any any advice, any other weaning mamas gone on something similar, like that maybe it's then affected them in other areas? Like I would love to hear from you. So please jump over to any of my social media. You can find me at Callie Malone Coaching on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And yeah, I would love to hear if other weaning mums have found that it's affected them, their little ones at other times. But I also, yeah, I feel really good with my boundaries. And it's also what I haven't mentioned is that I have to wean gradually because I've always had oversupply of milk as well. So I'm really noticing that this gradual weaning is like really healthy for me and my body just to help with understanding and my body settling into new supply and demand kind of equation there. So Yeah, I think it's going well for us, but just these little tweaks to other life areas and factors on other life areas, but also realizing that he is now 3 and we are definitely experiencing the big 3 emotions. Like thought 2-year-old emotions were big, 3-year-old emotions are big and they're very big. So yeah, just that's probably all I have to say about our night weaning and kind of weaning from here. Yeah, hoping to be fully weaned. We're coming into winter in Australia, so it's probably good timing as well because I do run a little colder, as a lot of women do. So I will be fully rugged up through winter. So yeah, I think a good time to help with weaning because I'll just have so many layers on and be too cold. And yeah, so I'm hoping by the end of winter to be fully weaned, but also not putting any expectation or pressure on myself, just going or him as well, just because I understand how much of a milk monster he is. So just going at a pace that yeah, just keeps us moving forward for him and me without rushing or pushing us into situations that we're both uncomfortable with. So yeah, so that's our night weaning journey. Just putting it out there in case it's helping any other co-sleeping mamas with their night weaning. And just always sending, best wishes and high fives and good job, mama, to all the other mums out there because we all have our challenges of some kind with being a mum. And every phase and every, age has different challenges. So just sending good jobs and recognitions to all of you. I know you're doing so well. And yeah, I would love to hear your story. So come and say hi on any of my socials. And I look forward to hearing from you, hearing your journey. And I will talk to you all next week. Bye.